Need to try and move through some of these today. I may only have time to do 2 again, but we'll have to see how quickly they go. I actually am going to go out of order today. I was going to just start going down the list, but I got to looking at it and I realized that my buddy Dan, I told him I was going to do his while on the trip and it never really happened. And that's fine, but I'm going to do it now. And then I think we might hit Troubadour after that. That one seems to be getting a little traction as well. So never a bad idea to try and stay on top of the ones that folks are talking about. So St. Cyrus, pardon me. Let's see, we've got OP on 16 and 17. May want to do the putting course. Course is not long, wide fairways. I'm looking for required elements. Not that I'm going to pay super close attention, but I will a little bit. Designed for firm fairways and greens. Manually set the green and terrain firmness to very firm. Okay, so we're judging this based on very firm. We got a 3-shot par 5, a drivable par 4, a template green complex. So we need to set all these as very firm and play the back tees, it sounds like. Trying to make sure that I've got Twitch doing what it's supposed to here, because it's not giving me the live notification. There it is. All right, now we're on it. So let's get after it. We'll set it to very firm and we will have ourselves a good day. And I'm not changing my outfit because I'm going to leave it the same as we go through here. St. Cyrus. Should probably tell Pithy I'm doing this. Hang on, I'm going to shoot him a message really fast. Time for St. Cyrus, Bubba. We'll see if he jumps in or not. But we need to change the course conditions to very firm, very firm. Now that's speed, I don't care about that. Firmness, very firm. Terrain firmness, very firm. This will henceforth be known as St. Cialis because of the playing conditions. Very firm, St. Cialis it is. After you finish your round, you get to relax in a bathtub next to a lovely woman. As my mother decides to try and call me as soon as I start this. Sorry, Mom, we can talk later. If your dog died, you can shoot me a message. That's a heartless. What a bad son. All right, let's take a peek here. Oh, when he said wide, he wasn't joking. I dig it. I like wide. I like wide. Wide makes me happy. Look at this. We got a little putting action. I like that the parking lot is just like a big old pit. I enjoy that. All right, so we got 441 yard, 5 feet uphill. And we are going to get jiggy with it. Ooh. Dan, we changed it to very firm as requested. But in so doing, we have to rename the course St. Cialis with those conditions. This is a very gentle opening hole. He's done a really good job here with, you know, a lot of people would stick the rocks right down in the water. I like how you've put them further back a little bit and allowed the sandy texture there. It's a good look. We got a little village action going on. There's the bank, in case you were wondering. I may have many good tempos. Let's see if we can do this just through loft. Well, loft and fast is not what I wanted. So down the hill we go. Oh no, we just sit right there. Good. It is. I like linksy style courses quite a lot. So I played yesterday at one that they put links into it. It was cold water golf links here in Iowa. It really wasn't as linksy as they tried to make it seem. Although the ground was a little crispy, so you could play along the ground quite a lot. Doyley would have enjoyed his time around the greens, I'll put it that way. Yeah, you definitely could lose some balls. The day they played it, it was pretty wet. It was nice and dry for us yesterday. Didn't play great, but had a few good holes, which made me feel good. The last hole was a 433-yard par 4, slightly uphill, trouble left and right, and I went driver and then hooded 7-iron and birdied it, so that made me happy. I ended on a good note. Another fast. Yeah, exactly. It's links because there's no trees. There were trees around the outside, but the course itself was pretty nice. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy shooting 89, but that's okay. Played about like I did on the last day. No worries, man. I like this as a par 3. It's simple. You've done a good job keeping the bunker edges kind of shaggy. I also like, and this is going to sound weird, I like that the sand is not all even in these bunkers. It's not the kind of course where you have to have even sand, so that doesn't bug me at all. Probably should move this aiming point, not that it matters, but never high enough. That was the story playing yesterday. Never high enough. Missed everything below the hole. Or hammered it through the break. One of the two. Way too many 3-putts. Yeah, I like that the tee boxes are just kind of integrated. You know, having them just join up. I like how that's done. You know, normally I'm not a big fan of bunkers behind some that don't get play. I think that one's going to get some play on some of these back pins, especially if the wind is up. So that's kind of cool. This is a good look for a hole. This is a potentially drivable in certain winds, but really forces you to play out here to the left. I wish there were a better way to get the bunker look that you're going for, because you came close, but it's a hard thing to pull off right, and I don't know that there's a perfect way to do it. I dig the, you know, I'm not always big into off-course stuff, but that looks pretty cool back there in the background. We'll have to see if we get closer to that or not. I'd almost like it if it just stayed in the background. That'd be good. That didn't take off. I thought it might. Sorry, I'm having a hard time clearing the old airways this morning. So far it plays about like I think you'd want it to. Sometimes I feel like on the link styles when we create them, we almost have to exaggerate the moundings to get the bounces you want. Like I did on Bandit Ridge, and I've seen people do on other ones, because the ground just doesn't move the ball the way you would expect it to, even on very fast. I'm wondering if some of the judges are going to give you a hard time about the tee boxes being in play for previous holes. Although really I don't know that there's much you could have done about it. It just is what it is. See, that shot, if you wanted to make this play very firm, should have run, you know, 20 yards further. But the only way to do that is with exaggerating the mounding, which is not something everybody wants to do. Well, that's about what I could. Yeah, exactly. You could turn this course around. There you go, Dan. There's your next project. Turn this course Just spin it on its head. I'm not saying too much here because there's not a lot of negative to point out. It's a good view for a golf course. It's a slightly inland from the ocean. It looks like we'll get out there eventually, but I like that it's just not using the ocean for the ocean's sake. See, this kind of mounding I think we almost need more of, because that gives you the reaction on the ground that you're looking for. I like the look you've gone with here. I think we're going to play it safe on this one. And in so doing, oh, good, nice. Stayed short. See, on a short par 5 like this, or shorter par 5, I don't mind having a layup choice like that. I mean, the wind just dictated my actions. Oh, here comes my 2-year-old. Hi, Eleanor. Now, is this the 3-shot par 5? This is, no, hole 11 is the 3-shot par 5. And when you've got a green that's divided up like this, you can, but has more space, you can afford to get... No, Eleanor, I'm not reading right now. Go downstairs. You can afford to have these big humps and bumps. And get away with it. That actually worked out about the way I figured. Yay! She's going to read to me about a book about kids whose front teeth fell out, but instead of regular human teeth, they got animal teeth. So beavers and tigers and naked mole rats. Seems appropriate for a kid's book. Let's talk about naked mole rats and narwhals. Okay, I'm going to start being a little more critical here. Just because I'm sure Dan would like it. I feel like in these bunkers you're doing a pretty good job getting the ragged edges, but at the same time you almost could have gone a little further with that, and I think it would have I think the course would have held up for it. I really like your out of play mounding. Your use of texture here is really good too, just leaving that texture the way it is. You haven't overplanted, which is something that's very easy to do. I mean, there's a lot of planting, but it's not overplanted. And you didn't worry about the draw distance as much as some. And what's cool about that is here, if you zoom back, just based on the terrain, some of those plants, it looks like they're there, even though they're not, just because the terrain has a discoloration to it. I like it. I like it. And I'm enjoying this course. I will say, and this is not necessarily a knock, but there hasn't been a hole or two that have jumped out where you'd say, okay, that's a hole I'm going to remember for a long time. I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I could walk you through the course in my mind so far, but there hasn't really been a jump out at you hole. No, I'm not reading the book. I'm busy. You go, if you want to read the book, go downstairs and ask Alex to read it. Well, that ran a little further than I thought. You know what? Let's see. Let's pull a doily special here. Wow, that fairway just dies on putts. That's something they need to change, is the way the ball reacts off the putter in the fairway. These fairways ought to roll really well, and they are not. Your village is really cool, by the way. I didn't want to get into it too much, but that's a really cool village. What? Okay, hang on a second, guys. Pithy, that is the best rock wall that I've seen. Hang on a second. Yeah, it definitely is an overall experience course so far. And I know that some people are going to be like, well, you just used, you know, this, that, and the other, and then you put rocks along a wall. That wall is great. That wall is killer, dude. And I think I may have found the first hole that I will really recall. This little bunker, just the little dots of ground you left in there is really, really good. The way this green sits with that knob there and the wall, this is a really classy hole. I like this one a lot. Oh, goodness gracious. This is going to be... Well, that's not going to pull off quite the way I wanted, but that's okay. I knew what I was trying to do, just didn't do it. I dig this hole. This is a good hole, Pithy. The other ones have been good holes too. This one is just kind of a step up, I feel like. I never know. It says 77%, and then it almost always ends up being way more. Yeah. That's a good shot. I'll take it. Your ruins back there, again, they're far enough away that I like keeping them at that distance. I think as you get closer to some of those, they tend to lose their magic. So we'll see if we get closer and it becomes a problem. That wall, the amount of time you took on that wall, buddy. But I like it in that you just left it, and you didn't feel the need to do a bunch of planting next to it either. I mean, you could have thrown some grass in there, but I don't think you needed to. This, I will say, this is one. I'm trying to look at the angles here and wonder why I would go left. I'll get closer going to the left, but I feel like I'm just inviting trouble by going left without seeing a real payoff. I could be wrong. In fact, just to prove a point, I'm going to do this. Let's see. You know, fast is not going to help. I'm going to end up in the rough. No, I didn't. I'm wondering if the distance payoff makes that side worth it. Because see, look, even the way the green is sloped, I'm not sure that going over here to the left is doing me a lot of favors. I mean, if the pin is right here, I guess, yes. So I could see that. I just don't know that it's doing me as much good as it's worth going over there. Yeah, that's going to go down the hill. Go on. Go down the hill. Go down the second hill, too. Come on. Pick up speed. Go. Stupid ball. I told you to go down the hill. Get up there. Ooh. Very nearly sexy. But not. Somehow not sexy. I like that hole. I just was not sure about the left-hand side there. See, as we get closer to these types of things, is this a halfway house? Just a little bathroom? Everybody needs a bathroom. Yeah, I guess I'm fine with it. Not everything has to have a direct point, I guess. This one's interesting in that the size of this green. Hang on a second, please. I will be right back. I have to handle something. I apologize. There was wailing and gnashing of teeth. I think the way this green is sloped, though, that the hole can handle the size. That, and I think it ends up playing more like what you wanted it to play anyway, because with the fairway, it just doesn't run the way you want. Yeah, 100 would have been good there. 95 ain't going to cut it. Let the dummies be punished. You know, those ruins don't quite do... They just look really old, so they're fine. Yep, let the dummies get punished over there. It was a cool looking hole regardless, and it's one that will stick in your mind. This one, I think different pin positions would make this hole shine. That first pin is just all the way back, just smack it up there and see how it goes. Yeah, this is just hard to do, so kudos for doing this. I like how we even got some window action here. Created with, you guessed it, trash bags. I like your bunker placement on this one. That's kind of exciting. Let's get jiggy again. Oh, I pushed it. Hit the wall. Bounce off the wall. Come on. Dang it. Not sure I can advocate for your backstopping on this one. You're just giving guys a backstop. It's terrible. What's the matter, Emily? That's what. Yes. When I'm done, we'll go. I'm doing a show right now and talking to people. Why don't you do me a favor? Would you go downstairs and look at books with your sister for a few? Okay, then go do it. And now we're getting the beach involved here a little bit. See, some folks don't like the rocks being used in that way. I don't mind that at all. Well, you definitely are accomplishing your three-shot par 5 idea here. Yeah, you only live once. Oh, I knew the wind was going to push it, but I was trying to do a fast downswing, so hosed myself. Yeah, that's the swing I wanted the first time around. Emmeline, not right now, honey. Leave Tori be, please. That fast. It's not what I wanted, but that's okay. You know, it makes me sad that even turning things up to very firm, they just aren't reacting, I think, the way you would want them to when you were making this course. I feel like you wanted things to be a little bouncier, a little harder, and the game just doesn't allow you to pull that off, and that makes me sad. Yeah, those are two good holes. I still, that par 3, that second one, I think, I really liked. I like this tee shot being blind the way it is. That is good. And I like the fact you've kept this course fairly short. You said you did, and you used up a lot of distance just on that par 5 on the last one there. But the course doesn't need a lot of distance to be challenging. Size of this green is interesting. I want to take a look at this. I mean, we've definitely got areas to play to. But the way it bowls, I almost see back here in the back, I almost wish there was a little more runoff on the other sides of this one, as big as it is. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. That's okay. You know, probably doesn't help I hit it into that upslope, does it? I'm a lag machine today. I gotta say too, though, I really appreciate the understated planting so far on this. You've planted kind of strategically. Whoa. Instead of just, you know, shotgunning everything or trying to make everything look a certain way. The rocks here, I think, could be either a little bit better using different sizes. It's a hard thing to do. Or maybe throw a few plants in there to break things up. Wow. I gotta say, I like this hole just in its novelty compared to the rest of the course. The size of the green. It's just it's a good departure, and it's a good time for a departure a little bit. You've kept things similar yet varied enough to keep you interested in the round. There are a couple of par 4s that started to run together just a little bit, but not too much. You're also a jerk for setting people up over the beach. There was a hole yesterday I played, and the tee box, the way they had it situated, set you up to just drive it right straight into the woods. And 3 out of the 4 people I was playing with went directly into the woods. And the other one missed the fairway to the right. It was not a good hole. I think everybody got a 6 on that one. See, and we've kept a small green here too. But that's okay. Like I said, I like just the slight departure. Emmeline, she's not going to do it with you right now, okay? Just be patient. I like the boomerang green. I'm not always a fan of a boomerang, but this one is such that it works. I like it. I like it. Not a lot of viewers right now. Maybe I need to be harsher and meaner. I'll do that on the next one. Jeez. What do you people want? This isn't the roasting show thing. We already did that. See, this one's interesting because it's actually safer to the left. Safer to go away. But the angle over there is not as good either. I like the way this one sets up. This is a good use of that centerline hazard. Boy, there's no good angle to this one, is there? It just doesn't exist. What's the best angle for this one? Hit it to the beach. Ugh. Well, that worked better than I anticipated. I wanted to get a little further up. That's a hole that could stick in somebody's mind too. I like that one. This is a very straightaway par 5 drive, but I feel like the drive on this hole really isn't the important part. I also like the fact that you put some trees just right there in a nice, you know, clump forest. It's a good visual. I like that. And you didn't really need to do too much else there. Yeah, but this is where the fun on this par 5 comes in. And I think Pithy knows this, but I am a sucker for long, narrow greens. I really am. I love them. And this is done really well. Oh, good gravy. You know what? Let's do... This is not going to go well, friends. And I was right. Didn't take the lie into account enough. But that's okay. It's a par 5, and we've got a pretty straightforward little flopsy-daisy here. I'll go past it and come back. Come on. There's your very firm greens, where you get nothing, and you stop just shy of a yellow. Perfect sense. Makes sense. Good job. Good talk, HB. HB! Oh, they weren't standing there. They were waiting for me. It's a limited membership. Like they send people off. Not 100% sure on this fencing here. I feel like you could have just used some white stakes, you know, spaced out. Because I don't know that that helps. This is a sexy hole, though. Very, very, very good looking hole here. You're ending on a bang. Ah, that fast. Go in the bunker. Go on. Thank you. No, this is really nice. May I say, too, and not enough people do this, the way you incorporated this beach into almost a little bunker is really, really good. Don't be afraid to incorporate your natural areas to into the course like that. I did that on the beach on Silver City, where I took some of the hazards that people had placed on their holes and just brought the beach right up into it. Also, an example of a green that can be kind of a stock-looking shape, but yet not look or play like one. Good work there. Oh, fast. Fast. How's the team coming along? Just when you're talking some dream team. Oh, this is going to be... I like this, because the higher you go, the worse you are. Yeah, well, let's do it. And that was poorly played. But that was better. Hooray! 18T is in the middle of the putting course. Let's take a look at this. It is. That is amazing. It is something else. What, Emmeline? Okay, well, I'll help you with it in a few minutes, okay? Ending on a par 3, that's braver than some would do. But I'll tell you what, that green is... Oh, Billy, I like this. You're like, oh yeah, great, let's end on a nice little par 3. Oh no, no, we're going to make you end on a par 3 that makes you want to crap your knickers. All the way off. I like that as a closer. I'm not sure how all the judges will feel, but that's not up to me. I like it. I like you've got a clock up there on the wall, so you can see when you go off next. It was a very sexy course. I enjoyed that, and I think that, yeah, I think this one on tour is going to be used a lot, and you know, it might not be on some of the higher tours, but on CC I could see that course being used for a lot of any time you need a link style. That's fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I think there were a couple of par 4s that ran together in the middle of the front side primarily. It got off to a good start, slightly slow, but then we hit that par 3, the second par 3, with the wall running across, and I think it picked up from there. The par 5s were especially good. I enjoyed the par 5s. I liked the change of pace with a couple smaller greens there on the back. The holes along the ocean were good, and they were interesting in that you didn't make the ocean out to be more than it was. Like, it was just, hey, there's an ocean over there. It wasn't, here, let me bring the ocean into the course and make it feel very sexual. But it was there, and it was cool. I feel like the mounding was overall good. It probably could have been stretched even a little bit further to give you the rolls and bounces that you were looking for. But you made up for that with having some very interesting greens, and the larger greens worked on this course simply because they allowed you to have a links feel by using the green to roll the ball around rather than the run up to the fairway. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, but really that's how it has to be done. I'm wondering how fringe would have worked for that. Not that you should have done that, but just I'm wondering, I'm curious to see what that would have done. You know, turns fringe all the way up and just make the aprons entirely fringe, just to see how it reacted. Anyway, I'm going to end this one and come back in a minute. That was Saint Cialis by Pithy Dr. G. And that was really good. I got a kick out of that. Some of the bunkering I felt like, well, it was placed well, maybe could have even been a little more in your face in spots. But really, overall, that was a good experience of a golf course. I'm going to stop and I'll be right back.